Yo, what's up, guys? Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Cast. I'm one of the HCS commentators, analysts, and grassroots content creators, and we have another HCS report. This one's going on ChatterNet in addition to our YouTube. In case you guys don't know, ChatterNet is bringing on 14 different Halo creators to have 14 different daily Halo podcast, and some of them are about HCS news, like kind of like what I do, and kind of like breakthrough. But then some of them are other fantastic programs that, from achievement hunting to everything else that just surrounds the entire Halo realm. So if you're interested in Halo, make sure you check out ChatterNet on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever it is that you enjoy your podcast. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you hit up that phone line 206-278-5795. Again, that is 206-278-5795. You can leave a voicemail or text message. Make sure you start off by letting them know it's from me, Tony, and I'll answer any of your questions, comments, or concerns, no matter how crazy they may be, on the next weekly podcast. But why don't we jump right into it, guys? It's your HCS report, which means we're doing HCS recap of what went on during the last week of Halo. And I will say, with all the roster mania that we've been getting left, right, and center, this week is going to feel a little bit quieter compared to, at least as far as that front. But what we did get is scrims, including the top teams in the world, the Optics, the Space Station Gamings, the Shopify Rebellions, them even going at each other. It was so fun to watch. If you were interested as far as watching teams practice and get ready for the next season, this last week is for you. And we're going to break down almost all the scrims that happened between the 4th, December 4th, and what's happened here now. So why don't we actually just jump right into it, and why don't we talk about the first matchup that I'm interested, which is Triggers Down and TSM. Now, Triggers Down roster has been going by Ryan Noob and King Nick, former United members back in season 1, and they've been teaming alongside Descendant and Ezzo, who were last seen teaming with Dark Inside late last year, and even early in the offseason this year. Triggers Down pulling off the 9-6 against newly signed TSM roster Talik, Soul Snipe, Druck, and Cherished. That right there to me is already a huge win going towards Triggers Down. TSM, that trio of Druck, Soul Snipe, and Talik, have hit 3rd place at Worlds back in Season 1 when playing together. Now, missed all of Season 2, obviously, and then went separate ways in Season 3, but back together. Joining them is Cherished, and there's high hopes for this TSM roster, and there should be high hopes for this Triggers Down roster, because that is a big win for them. Next up, we'll talk a little bit about the whole Space Station Gaming versus Complexity. We'll talk about both of these rosters maybe a little bit later on. Tenrai with the 7-6 over Sniping Lies. That's pretty big as well. These two teams should be evenly matched as far as firing power. Although I did see that Sniping Lies, or at least Super CC from Sniping Lies, I believe, tweeting out that he was a free agent, which is something. We'll probably make a video about that separately. But yeah, Super CC maybe no longer with the Lies roster. And what does that mean? Is all the players gone? Is it just them dropping one player and bringing on a new one? I'm interested to know about that. But what's really catching my eye right now is Team Nemesis going up against Pipa. Team Nemesis, the newly signed roster with Wutum, Snipe Drone, SLG, and Glory, the #1 team in EU. They'll tell you themselves, go up against Pipa. Chick and Sika. Joining them is Jimbo and Mighty. So both teams have a little bit of French in them, and both teams having a bit of a rivalry for who's the top dog in the EU. Well, Team Nemesis with the 8-4 over them. And why don't we take a look at some of the slays here, because I'm just interested in who was leading the slays department, and it's big old Wutum, who I've told y'all is the most dynamic player in the HCS. 263 kills, 127 assists, 80 1,636 damage coming out of him. On the other side of things, I will say Mighty's leading all slays with 283 and most damage as well, 84,000. Show some love to Mighty's. Fantastic win for Team Nemesis. We're going to talk about them a little bit more, but going further, we have Complexity with the 11-8. We'll talk about them some more. Triggers down with the 12-1 over 10 Rye. Complexity 6-3 over Sniping Lies. FaZe. Actually, why don't we skip over some of these? These are tournament gameplay, I believe, from the Forge Hub tournament, to my knowledge. Shopify 15-2, dominant win for Shopify Rebellion. And why don't we fast forward to apparently Peepa getting their revenge a bit on Team Nemesis. Peepa, again, Jimbo, Sika, Chick, and Mighty's just finished getting 4-8'd by them. They actually do get the revenge a bit, winning by 1 game in the scrim, 8-7. This time it was SLG leading slays. Good for you, SLG. Wootsum still leading in the damage department. On the other side of things, Sika and Mighty's, that's where your firepower came from on this Peepa roster. And now we truly do have a battle for that #1 spot in Europe. Really excited to see that. Talk about the Shopify Rebellion 15-2. In case you guys don't know, Shopify Rebellion, Cycle, Frosty, Last Shot, and World 2 going up against Boo Boo Dubu, Sab, Septify, and Manny. It was Frosty leading all slays, Last Shot leading all damage. You see, maybe a little bit less kills than Frosty, but the assists were up there, and a dominant performance coming out of Shopify with some big expectations on Cloud9's shoulders. Obviously, suspect they're not on the roster anymore, but you have Boo Boo Dubu coming in, and you also have a team that literally almost 3-0'd Space Station Gaming, almost beat them in the first round of the losers bracket in previous tournaments. Cloud9, they have a ton of potential, and we want to see them reach that. Let's see, what do we got up next? Cloud9 12-6 over Complexity. Sniping Lies and 10 Rise splitting the difference here, tied up at 5 apiece. Shopify versus Triggers Down. Well, when we talk about that a little bit, that was an 11-0. Triggers Down coming off of a big win against TSM not too long before here. End up getting fairly dominated by Shopify Rebellion. Great slays out of World 2 and Cycle. Love to see that. On the Ryan Noob crew side of things, it was Ezzo, the young gun, the new kid on the block leading the slays, and King Nick leading as far as damage-wise. Shopify Rebellion, damn good performance, if I do say so myself. Damn good performance. Why don't we skip over to the more recent stuff, because this is where things get really, really interesting. Why don't we TSM 8-2 over Cloud9. Shopify Rebellion 9-6 over Space Station Gaming. Again, Psycho Frosty, Last Shot in World 2. SSG, I believe this might have been their first scrim as well. Lucid, Snakebite, Stellar, and Eco. Does it still feel weird? Does it still feel weird to say this team? I love the SSG roster, but just saying the words Lucid, Snakebite, Stellar, and Eco, it's gonna take some time for me to get used to that. I don't know. That's just me. But Shopify Rebellion with the 9-6 over SSG. Slays department. Stellar, 280 kills. You selfish man. Stop stealing all the kills, Stellar, for SSG. Lucid coming out with a big 87,000 damage. But on the other side of things, we did have the winning team, and that's Frosty with the 283. Frosty has really been stepping up as a slayer in some of these bigger scrims that I've noticed. Really excited about that. And one thing that we're noticing is the back shot coming in with the most damage on literally every single one of these scrims. I mean, I talked about it before. The man is a damage dealer. He has great anticipation, great accuracy. I mean, he's a future superstar in the league, and he's just been topping out as far as damage, and I'm guessing making the game easier for Frosty to just pick off those kills, because I think with last shots damage and Frosty's ability to predict where the enemy team is going to be and where they're going, you have a recipe for success. Shopify Rebellion 9-6 over SSG, who many had as the second, if not the first best team in the league. Congratulations, Shopify Rebellion. Talk a little bit about TSM with an 11-1 over TEDY. FaZe with a 9-6 over Cloud9. This actually might have been their first scrim that we've seen together. And Cloud9, a few wins. I think that's good for them. But I also love the idea of this underdog roster, the Penguin, Trippy, Suppressed, and Falcated, players that may have gone overlooked during last season, coming in and having a point to prove. I believe this might have been their first scrim. Great wins off of Cloud9. I will say I want to give them their flowers, but FaZe coming in with a 9-5 win. Nemesis and Peepa splitting the difference once again, proving that there is a battle for that #1 spot in the EU. Shopify Rebellion with a 6-2 and a mini scrim over TSM. Triggers Down 12-5 over Sniping Lies. I think that's a big win for Triggers Down. I could see Lies giving them issues, and big 12-5 win. I will say, to me, this is an impressive win. Optic 12-4 over TSM. Love me some TSM, but this is Optic Gaming. This might have been their first scrim as well. I think we actually did an analyst video. We spectated and analyzed 2 of the game. I got uploaded actually today on the 19th, actually. So why am I saying think? I know for a fact I did that. Renegade 300 kills, of course, the main Slayer. 88,000 damage. Formal topping out with 89,000 damage. On the other side of things, you have Soul Snipe and Tolik splitting these top slays, with Tolik putting up 87,000 damage in himself as well. Great win for Optic Gaming. SSG with the 12-4 over Complexity. Love me some Complexity. SSG just a little bit better, in case you guys forgot that Complexity roster. I'll bring it up. Huss, Precision, Sparty, and Mental. And Shopify 14-3 over Cloud9. Cloud9 with the 8-1 over Shopify. I was over Complexity, excuse me. I think this is worth bringing up because, again, we have some high hopes for this Complexity roster. A lot of people were asking me what I thought their ceiling was, or what the expectations was, really. And I said, I think if Complexity play at their best, I can see them getting 4th place and battling out with the likes of, that not FaZe roster, for example. Cloud9 proving that they're also a team that's going to be competing for that same exact spot. And 8-1 over Complexity is a huge win. Massive win. You know what else is massive? Septifies 180 kills, 49,000 damage, 50k damage come out of Boo Boo Doo. Love to see that. And Cloud9 getting a big win, in my opinion. Why don't we keep this gravy train going? I'm trying to find Sniping Lies, because I believe I saw that Super CC tweeted out that he's a free agent. You know what? I'm about to do it live. Okay, I'll do it live. Yeah, so literally tweet out that he's a free agent, but that was just 20 hours ago. So we don't actually have what their roster is. I'm gonna be looking out for Sniping Lies. I see a lot of people are seeing what Sniping Lies are doing these off-season tournaments, and either not paying attention to it or just completely overlooking it, or maybe just chalking up to just the off-season. But I've been really liking Sniping Lies, and I'm very, very interested to see where they go. With a roster change, I'm expecting an upward trajectory. You drop a player like Super CC, who's a phenomenal player. What do you do with that? Do you go upwards from there? Because I feel like they were already, to me, they were already on an upward trend, but we'll see. SSG over TSM. Again, love TSM, but I feel like for me, I think when I like TSM the most, I like them in tournament play going up against top teams. I don't like them in scrims against SSG. I like it for valuable experience and them working on the strategies they're going to need. But for me, I think they need to feed off of that real-time energy. Being in the LAN, feeding off of the energy that the crowd is giving them when they make a play and the crowd goes, that's what they feed off of. So to me personally, I like watching TSM against the top teams, but I want to see them on LAN because I think they're different on LAN. They're better on LAN than they are online. And last up is going to be FaZe versus Shopify Rebellion. And Shopify Rebellion, arguably the hottest team in the league right now. Arguably. I mean, that win against SSG was great. They've been winning every offseason tournament. They've been doing it all. FaZe coming in and saying, you guys continue to underrate us, and we are going to make you pay for that every single time. We're going to make you doubt and second guess your predictions every single time by splitting the difference in a scrim. And yes, I know people in the chat or in the comments are saying, oh, don't you such a scrim, shut up, you put it too much on the scrim, put it too much. I say it all the time. You can't put everything on scrim results. You can't put nothing on scrim results. Somewhere in the middle is where I put scrim results. And I will say, I am proud of this FaZe roster. I'm not sitting there saying they're going to, win worlds. I'm not saying they're going to win the first event. All I'm saying is that I'm proud of this FaZe roster for splitting difference with Shopify Rebellion. We'll take a look at the stats one more time, and something tells me, surprise, surprise, back shot. 88,000 damage coming out of the last shot. Leading in the Slays department is Cycle this time, showing off a bit. Loving what I'm seeing there. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, we got Falcated and Trippy doing their things in the kills. And Falcated just barely, topping out in damage, but very close as far as damage from this entire roster, which I actually think balance is really good. Honestly, love that. Love to see this out of FaZe. Shopify Rebellion obviously splitting the difference with them as far as the scrim results, and that's pretty much it as far as the scrims. I do want to show some love because we actually did have some Valentine's Day tournaments, some co-ed tournaments. I got to cast one with Lucidity in the Double the Live tournament. So show some love. What do we got? We got Young Guns and Kells winning the Snipers tournament, the Sniping Time event. That must be nap times in SWAT Nation, yeah. Beating out Uvinity and Walmart. Uvinity and Walmart are absolutely nasty, but I've known Young Guns and Kells for a long time. I don't know how much they're grinding nowadays, but they were doing the same exact thing back in the SWAT Nation tournaments, back in the Snipes tournaments, way back in Halo 5. Really happy to see them once again because, dude, Young Guns and Kells had a ton of talent, bro. Especially Young Guns. So Young Guns has not only an amazing player, but amazing family as well. His father is always showing some love in the chat and whatnot. Like, just an amazing backing from Young Guns. Great player, great family. On the other side of things, we have Mythic Gaming coming in with the co-ed 2v2, where Veronica and Crexy, let's go, freaking Haley. I know of Crexy. I don't know too much of him, but I mean, you just won a tournament. You should be proud. Meanwhile, Fortune Cookie, who, by the way, disgusting, absolutely disgusting, is Fortune Cookie. Not only great at making graphics and doing emotes and everything that she does on that front, but on top of that, just being an amazing Halo player as well. Teaming up with Prufio. I love that name. I actually love that name. Double the Love. That tournament, that winner went to Cranberry and Divine Damsel and Tusk, I believe, beat out Cranberry Renegade. Mind you, I actually casted the tournament. Cranberry Renegade made it into the grand finals through the winner's side. Divine Damsel and Tusk come in, pull off out of the lower bracket, reset the bracket, and then take it to a game 5 and then end up winning that same game 5. It was huge by Divine Damsel and Tusk, but I also really want to show some love to Cranberry and Renegade because I believe, and I apologize if I'm incorrect, I believe they donated all of their winnings to the charity. Because, but mind you, this tournament was a charity tournament for Gamers Outreach, and I believe Cranberry Renegade actually literally donated their prize winnings to that charity, which is incredible. Incredible. The demon might become the angel in Renegade. And then there was a big team battle tournament. Ziad, Parabola, Mouse's Uzi, Ezo, Morgan, Lightology, Signet, and Ivanized coming in with the win. And as much as I love some of these players on here, I've known Ziad for a long time. He's a team with Cycle back in the day. For those of y'all know Cycle, Parabola, I believe has teamed with Ezo as well. Ezo has been with Ryan Noob. Parabola has been trying to find his home on the top roster as well. Ivanized has been doing some big things. I believe Ivanized was playing with Sniping Lies at one point, or maybe 10 Rye. I'm sorry, no, it might have been 10 Rye. I apologize. But I'd also know that they do this clan stuff, and that's just disgusting. Stop it. Stop it with the raids, okay, guys? Stop it. All right? Get in the freaking 8s. All right? No more raids from now on. Get the frick off the clan stuff and get into the 8s lobbies. But congratulations to Finest Red for winning the 8v8 tournament. We have more. Oh my gosh, Sunrise and Bastos coming on Valentine's Day. And of course, the Clutch Academy tournament. They were doing a Halo 3 tournament where known as Phenon, Amplify, Crusher, and Kai Bai Nora. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I've known Crusher and Amplify for a little while now. Shout out to Womptastic alongside Constructive, Friction, and Sad Player for getting second place in that Halo 3 MCC 4v4 tournament. And of course, we got to show some love to the undefeated, reigning 1v1 showdown champion, Last Shot, coming in, winning yet another 1v1 tournament. Got to show some love to him. And with that, I believe we're going to close out our HCS report. We went over scrims. We showed some love to some tournament winners. We'll probably be doing this again coming up in about 2 weeks. I don't believe, actually, no, in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we actually should have had, our first official online tournament leading up to the first LAN. So, we'll be breaking down that a little bit in addition to scrims. Make sure you guys come back in 2 weeks for our next ChatterNet episode. It's going to be a good one. And again, don't forget to hit up that phone line. It's 206-278-5795. Again, 206-278-5795. Make sure you guys hit that phone line, text message, or voicemail with any of your questions, comments, or concerns, and I'll get to it on the next episode. Shout out to my man Jumperscape at jumperscape.com for bringing me to be a part of this project, and shout out to all the creators involved in ChatterNet. Don't just watch my episodes. Make sure you watch everybody's. It's 14 days of literally daily Halo content, Halo podcast, and it's hosted by 14 different creators. So make sure that you get different Halo content every single day. Love what ChatterNet is doing. And until next time, deuces.